Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Bold and the Beautiful. Grace accepts Bill's massive payoff, endangering Liam's life. Bold and the Beautiful sees Dr. Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, telling Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, there might be hope for Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton. And then she does some sort of risky procedure on him for big bucks. We're going to talk about whether Grace is doing what's best for Liam or best for her bank account. Or maybe it's the best of both worlds. And Bill pays Grace to do something outside of traditional medicine, and it actually works to cure Liam's cancer. So, we know from Grace's recent phone calls there's some trouble going on in the family. If you don't remember, her ex, Reese Buckingham, Wayne Brady, who's the father of her girls, Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, and Zoe Buckingham, Kiara Barnes, is a real piece of work. He could be part of the problem. Bottom line, Grace needs money, and Bill has piles and piles of it. And he's got a very sick son who he's desperate to cure, especially because Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, chewed him a new one and said Liam didn't want Bill to know about the cancer because his dad is so selfish. Now, I don't remember once Liam saying anything like that. This is either Hope and Steffi just being mean, or this is Brad Bell thinking that viewers don't remember dialogue, and he's just rewriting history because Liam was keeping it a secret because he didn't want pity. And he didn't want people, doting on him on his way out. He just wanted to live out what life he had normally. If you recall, Liam didn't even want to tell Hope at first, and Steffi blabbed it because he wouldn't tell. And Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, of course, lost his mind. He was calling him Billy. I've never heard that before out of Ridge's mouth, and Ridge has got no room to talk to anyone about anything, to be honest. So this week, Grace and Bill have a talk. Now that Hope blurted out that Liam has cancer, Bill's even more worried than he already was when he heard that Liam was shot. So, Bill talks to Grace in private, and he wants to know if there's any chance Liam can survive this cancer. He got doom and gloom news from Hope and Steffi, and that's because they really do think there's no chance. There have been repeat scans and tests from the neuro team that several doctors, including Finn Tanner Novlin, have looked over. Everybody agreed that it's dire, and if you recall, I think it was 2 months ago that Grace did offer Liam some treatment options, radiation and chemotherapy to give him more time with his girls, even though the tumor was inoperable. He talked to Steffi and Finn about quality of life and whether he should do the treatments. And then he never did anything. They just dropped it. And then just the other day that came back up again, and Grace started pressing Finn to convince Liam to take the treatment now before it's too late. So again, no, I know there's clickbait out there, but I do not think Grace is faking Liam's cancer. Too many doctors have looked at the scans. I mean, that would be a whole lot of fakery, right? Anyway, this dodgy new treatment, though, is a whole other thing. So once Bill asked Grace if there's any way to save Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, she says, "What if I told you there is?" And then this week it looks like Bill is going to send Grace $1 million while Liam is wrapped up in some blue hospital material looking doubtful, and then his face is out, and the top of his head looks like she's going to cut his noggin open. We know that Grace does surgery on Liam this week, and Bill is waiting eagerly on that outcome. And the leaker, who so far is 100% reliable, that's sharing stuff, said Liam is going to be getting experimental treatment at a private clinic. This is the leaker that also said he'd be in a coma, which he was. And then they said that Liam comes out of the coma, which he's done, and then is going to be snatched out of the hospital by Bill and transported to a private clinic where Grace and another doctor are going to do experimental things on his brain. So, I wonder if Bill has Liam transferred and then the surgery is at the new clinic. The timing on the spoilers sound like that. Grace does the surgery and then Bill takes him. So whatever the order is, it seems like Grace needs Liam away from the hospital to do more experimental stuff on his cancer. It sounds risky and dangerous and is going to come at a high cost to Bill's wallet. But if Grace can do some cutting-edge thing with this other doctor and save Liam, I'm sure it's worth every penny to Bill. But I wonder if Grace really thinks this surgery will work and save Liam, or she's just trying to get a payday from Dollar Bill and is stalling. Maybe Liam is going to die anyway. Now, I've said this before. I don't think they're killing off Scott Clifton. I figured it was going to be an 11th hour miracle cure or something like they did on Eric Forrester, John McCook, because Brad Bell loves to repeat plots. There's some people on soap social media who said, oh, they won't fake Luna Nozawa's Lisa Yamada death because that's a repeat plot, and they wouldn't do this with Liam. It's a repeat plot. Brad Bell repeats plots. They have like 5, and they just keep redoing them. That's what Bold and the Beautiful does. Anyway, given that Grace actually does seem to do surgery on Liam this week, cutting into his brain and whatnot, maybe the surgery was inoperable if they weren't willing to take risks. And maybe this experimental procedure wouldn't be allowed at that LA hospital. But at a private clinic, Grace and this new doctor we're going to meet can try things that are more risky. If Liam's going to die anyway, I'm betting Bill is willing to take risks and pay big for any kind of Hail Mary option. I do wonder if Liam consents to all this, or somehow Bill takes full control and consents on his behalf. Grace could have Bill sign papers for the surgery and the transfer. Grace could say that Liam's brain tumor makes him unable, incompetent to make decisions for his own care because his brain is compromised. Something like that. But also, B&B doesn't actually worry about legalities, so they may not even explain it. So Bill could take control. I'm guessing Liam doesn't want to be taken somewhere that Steffi and Hope can't see him, but Bill wants him away from all of them. Maybe he thinks if he can save Liam, everybody will back off and quit raging at him. He doesn't need crap from Steffi. And her mom, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, because remember, she shot Bill in the back and Steffi begged him to cover, and so Bill kindly didn't press charges on Taylor. So the problem is we know Grace really needs the money, so her motives are not just about patient care. This may be about getting whoever keeps texting and calling her off her back. And in this week's promo, Finn talks to Bridget Forrester, Ashley Jones, about something not being standard protocol. They find it odd. It could be about Grace doing risky surgery, or transporting Liam away from the hospital, or it could be about Luna and the disposal of her body, because I'm still not convinced Lee Finnegan, Naomi. Matsuda's being honest and that Luna's actually dead. When Lee talked to Finn this week about Luna, I get the vibe that Lee was testing the waters to see if she could tell Finn that Luna had survived. So we'll see. We know Grace has done questionable things in the past on Bold and the Beautiful, and she's gone back crap crazy, like when she was going nuts about Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, dating Paris. Now she's back for Liam's life and death storyline. And again, I don't think it's likely he's going to die. And maybe because of Grace and this experimental regimen that Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, is going to start funding, that's what saves his life. We know from leaked scripts that Liam has scenes in September, a full 2 months from now. So maybe he'll be off canvas for a while getting secret dodgy cancer treatments. Hope and Steffi are not going to be happy that Bill snatches Liam right out from under them. But Bill's desperate to save Liam after getting Luna the pardon, and her shooting Liam. So I expect Bill to go to extremes, and obviously Steffi and Hope are going to freak out when Bill runs off with them. So maybe Grace puts Liam into a medically induced coma so that Bill can take control, and they can transport him away without his consent, without the ladies knowing. We'll see if Liam's next of kin is Dollar Bill.